Today you'll be learning what the 5 best attackers and defenders are for solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege right now. These 10 operators will be key for you ranking up this season and moving up towards the rank you deserve. And some of these will surprise you, so make sure you watch till the end. Starting off on defense then, I think I'm gonna have to go with Warden. Warden this season has been so influential. He's by far the most picked operator in the game, but his gadget is not that useful and it's not the reason why he's getting picked so much. The reason Warden is getting picked so much right now is because his kill potential is absolutely through the roof with that 1.5 scope on the MPX, and I can see this getting removed next season, so for the remainder of this season, use Warden while you can. Moving on to 4th place then, I think the 4th best defender right now in Rainbow Six Siege is Mute. Mute has been slowly climbing the meta rankings in my opinion, and right now he finds himself in such a good spot on the defending team. The good thing about Mute is that he is good for wall denial and stopping the breach, but at the same time he can also be more versatile than the likes of Bandit because he can also stop drones and intel gathering for the attackers. Top of this, Mute comes equipped with a decent SMG but also one of the best shotguns in the entire game, so he's also useful for setting up sight and taking advantage of close quarter situations. Moving on then to the 3rd best defender in my opinion, and I'm actually going to go for Aruni. Now this may come as a surprise to you guys because the likes of Solace is going to be missing off of this list. For a solo queue mindset, I actually think Aruni could be better for you and your team. Now Aruni is obviously going to be great at wasting attacker utility and drones. If you're comfortable with a DMR, I'd say go for the DMR 9 times out of 10. If you're one of those players that are somehow cracked with the P10 Roni, unlike myself, then maybe Aruni is an even better pick for you than a 3rd pick. With that being said then, moving on to number 2, the 2nd best defender in the entire game right now, and it's gonna have to be Fenrir. There is a reason that Fenrir is already one of the most banned operators in the entire game right now, and it's because he is so strong for the defending team, no matter if you're solo queuing or playing with a squad. For solo queuing though, he can be even more impressive because you can rely on his gadgets for giving you comfortable callouts. You can use his gadgets scattered around the map to basically give you free intel, and not only is it going to work as a trap, but you can also locate where those enemies are going to be attacking from. But even though Fenrir is a very good solo queue operator right now, I still think number 1 by far is going to be Azami. Azami is incredibly useful for 90% of maps in the entire game. She is so goddamn versatile, and right now she is so goddamn strong. She can create her own unique lines of sight and angles that no other operator in the entire game can, and the reason why she is so good for solo queuing as well is the fact that she can kind of use her gadgets as an alternative to a deployable shield. So therefore you don't have to rely on your teammates putting down a deployable shield in the right spaces. Moving on over straight to the attackers then, and in 5th place I have gone for Jackal. Now I know in 90% of ranked games Jackal is probably going to be banned, so for that reason I've kind of given you guys a 2nd 5th place pick. The backup for the 5th place pick, I've gone for Dokkaebi. Now Jackal and Dokkaebi, although their gadgets are completely different, they kind of fill the same role where they can locate, track down and take advantage of the fact that there may be roamers scattered around the map. Now in my opinion Jackal is definitely the best for this, and he also has a much more superior loadout, but as I said he is banned more times than not. So for that reason I think Dokkaebi is a great alternative. Although she doesn't have the best loadout, once again if you are comfortable with DMRs, Dokkaebi is a great pick for you and your team, because not only are you giving yourself intel, you'll be giving your team intel. With that being said then, moving on into 4th place, I've actually gone for 2 operators again because they also kind of fill the same role, and that is Buck and Sledge. In my opinion, I think Buck is slightly better than Sledge when it comes to solo queue, but Sledge does have the option of bringing frag grenades, so it all depends on which map you get. The reason why Buck is one of the best solo queue operators is because he can kind of do it all. His loadout is great, his gadget allows him to go through soft walls and play vertically above and below objectives, but on top of that he can also bring hard breach charges to help him get through hatches and unelectrified walls. Once again, I think these two are just down to preference. If you prefer Sledge, then play Sledge. If you think you're a more comfortable Buck player, then play Buck. With those two out of the way then, let's move over into our 3rd place pick, which might surprise you because I have gone for Osa. Now if you guys don't already play Osa, I highly recommend you start taking advantage of her now. There is a reason why she is the highest win rate attacker right now in Rainbow Six Siege, and it's because she can be so goddamn good at entering and pushing through an entire map. Now the reason why you guys probably don't enjoy playing Osa as much as you should be is because a lot of people are playing her wrong. A lot of people sit very static on a window or doorway and kind of wait and use their shields as if it was a deployable shield. But what you should be doing instead is using the fact that that shield is see-through and you hold it up above you to kind of gather intel. So don't stand too still, keep picking up your shields and don't leave them behind. And once you've gained access to that objective, make sure you plant them down and use them effectively. Moving on then to second place, and it is quite easily going to be Ace. A hard breacher is always useful in Rainbow Six Siege, and Ace once again can kind of do it all while also bringing his own decent loadout. He obviously has access to the AK-12, one of the best assault rifles in the entire game. He can also bring smokes as well, which in my opinion are one of the most underutilized gadgets in the entire game, and he can use both of those in tangent with each other to get onto objective and plant the bomb while in complete cover. With that being said, I also think Ace is just one of the best hard breachers in the game. I think the only one that could slightly be better than him is Thermite in specific situations. Which leaves us with the #1 best attacker in Rainbow Six Siege right now, and it is going to be Iana. Now Iana is so good for solo queue, especially because she can use her clones an infinite number of times, basically giving her unlimited number of drones to gather as much intel as she needs. You should take full advantage of this in your ranked games and make sure you drone out every single room before you rush in, because you don't want to die without even putting up a good fight.